Hi guys, it's Cyndi, aka Disney Queen. Today we are going to finish our series of my rewind of my 2017 trip to Walt Disney World. As you guys know, I am going to be going back after 6 years. And so I went back and looked at some old video footage and decided to do like a recap of that trip because I never really got a chance to vlog it. And I'm hoping to vlog this time, and I'm hoping to do better than I did the last time. But anyway, so I thought that I would end the series with some honorable mentions. I thought I would talk about where we stayed and some of the places that we ate at, and also our travels, day to Disney and the day that we left. So we stayed for 7 days at the All-Star Sports Resort. We left, I don't remember now what day it was, but we drove. We live about 14 hours away from Orlando, and so we had decided that we were going to split our stay up and travel halfway and stop overnight and sleep. And so we stopped in Savannah that night, checked into our hotel. I believe that I have a video sharing that room. If I can find it, I will put a link below. There was a Ruby Tuesday not far from where we were staying, so we ate dinner there that evening, and then the next morning we had continental breakfast at the hotel, and then we got back on the road. We got to Florida about mid-afternoon. We knew we weren't going to be able to check into our resort, so we went to downtown Disney. And so we just went around, walked around, did some shopping, checked out some of the new stores because it had changed. Some new things had been added since the last time we had gone. And then we made our way over to the All-Star Sports Resort. Now, at the time, they had started, I believe, refurbishing some of the All-Star resorts, but All-Star Sports was the last one that they were going to be refurbishing. So we got a pretty nice deal on our room for that week. And so, but to me, it was fine. We've stayed at the All-Stars before. We've stayed at All-Star Sports. No, we've stayed at All-Star Music, and we've stayed at Pop Century, and we've never stayed at the All-Star Movies. And I will say that it seems like when you do a check for the All-Star Movies, it always costs a little bit more than the other two All-Star resorts. And I want to say that's because of the theming. I think is the best theming out of the three. We had requested a quiet room, and I believe we had asked for an upper floor, but we ended up being on the first floor, which actually ended up turning out fine. It was right by the parking lot where our car was parked. Final walk to the hotel room. We are checking out of the All-Star Sports and heading back to Virginia. And the sun is out. It is hot. We were in Hoops building with the Metropolitan. And the side parking, there was always plenty of parking, and it wasn't that far from the exit to go out of the area. So it was a good spot to be in. And we are some walking slow people. Guess we're checking out just in time because it looks like housekeeping is here. And the pool was right around the corner, and so was the weren't too far from where you can eat and check in. So it was a good spot for us. So every morning we could literally just walk to the end of the building and get in our car and get ready to go to the parks. So it actually worked out perfectly. We had a view of like trees. It was nice and quiet. It was in the back part of the park. But what I didn't realize at the time was that not only was the parking right by our building, but we were literally like within a few, not far from the main building. Even though we weren't in a preferred building, the way the parking was situated, we literally could have walked easily to the main building. But what we usually would do, honestly, would just get in the car and drive up to the front where there's some parking in the front part of the main building, and then go inside so that my husband could refill his cup and my daughter could refill their cup. For their morning coffee. We only ate at the All-Star resorts one evening, and that was on our last day. We were so tired. We had been in the parks all day. We ended with Magic Kingdom. We had seen the fireworks, and we just wanted a snack before we went back to our room, before we started packing to go back home the next day. We had their chili fries. Oh my gosh, they were so good. I will say this. We've stayed at several All-Star resorts. I've never had any complaints about the food at all. There's plenty of things to select from. Yes, it is only quick service, but when you are like us, and which is also the reason why we even choose the value resorts, we don't spend a lot of time in our room. We don't swim, so the pool is not as a big deal to us as it is to others. But they do have nice pools. They just don't have the slides and everything that others have. But the food is fine. You can go to any restaurant on property if you can get a reservation and eat there. So that doesn't really bother me as much, that it's not an actual sit-down restaurant, what we consider sit-down restaurant at the All-Stars. The room was fine. It was clean. At that time, they were still doing, we didn't have COVID, so they were doing the housekeeping every day. Like I said, we were literally within feet of the parking lot, so that was always good. So at the end of the day, if we drove, rarely did we get on the bus on this trip, but if we drove, We would park in the evening. There was always plenty of parking spaces. Sometimes even Mark would go back out later on to see if people had moved or gone, and maybe would park a little closer, but it was literally right there. So we would leave the parks and come home and be immediately right there at our room. So that was great. Um, I will tell you this story, but I think I have it in another story that I did about this trip. When we got there, at the time, you could check in on your phone. You didn't necessarily have to go to the front of the desk, but I just like the feeling of walking into the lobby, checking in, talking to the cast members. And we were talking to one of the cast members when they called us up. We didn't have to wait in a long line. I think it was because we didn't go right at 3 o'clock where most people are checking in. And the cast member was talking to us, and this young man came up to us, started talking to my husband. He noticed my husband's watch, and they started talking about watches. And then he overheard that we were there celebrating our anniversary. My daughter was celebrating her birthday, and he had this really unique looking watch on, and he was telling my husband about where he had gotten it and where my husband could get it. My husband did eventually get that watch. When we finished the conversation, he said, "I just want to give you guys a little special welcome." And we didn't have a clue, what that was going to be. He says, "I'm giving you your refillable cups for free." At the time, I want to say they were like $17.99 a piece. So that was a good little savings right there. And he said, "And I want to take a picture with you." So we took a picture with him with these huge buttons that said happy birthday and happy anniversary. And they gave us buttons at the front desk, so we didn't have to wait till we got to Magic Kingdom to get a button. The evening that we arrived, like I said, that earlier that day we had gone to Disney Springs. Then we went to check into our room. We dropped our bags. We rushed and changed our clothes because that evening we were having dinner at Ohana's. Now, if you have been on this channel for any period of time, you know Ohana is one of my favorite restaurants to eat at. And usually we eat there on our very first visit, on our very first day. So we had reservations that evening for Ohana. So we got in the car, we drove over to the Poly, we found us our parking spot. The first time we went there, we had a hard time finding the lobby area because of where we parked. So we made sure this time we knew exactly where we were parking and that it was within as close proximity as we could get to the main building. And so we went in. We didn't have to wait very long. They said, "Welcome, cousins." We came in. We had a really good time. My daughter got up with the children and did a little dance around the room when the guy on the ukulele was playing. And at one point he did like a little happy birthday to all the people whose birthdays were being celebrated. We were there in time to watch the fireworks from the windows of the restaurant. And so once again, great job with the food. That was before they had changed some of the menu. it is. Now, I do know that since COVID, that they do not go around with the skewers and drop the meat on the plate. They put portions. I think it's family style now, so everything is put on your table. But it is still all you can eat. But you really cannot eat that much. You will get so filled up off of the food there.
Your birthday? What's your name? Marcusa? Marcusa, where are you from? Virginia! Aloha, what's your name? Alright, is that it? Guys, we're going to wish them happy birthday in Hawaiian. Repeat after me. Hau'oli. Mahalo. Very good. Now we're going to sing happy birthday cousins since there's more than one of them. There we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear cousin. Happy birthday to you and many more. Thank you, friends, again. Thank you for sharing. Well, we want to say thank you so much again for coming in and having dinner. How about putting your hands together for our hostess, our waiters, our waitress, the wait staff. We want to make sure your evening is very enjoyable, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Also want to bring your attention to the hottest seat in the house. The hottest seat in the house over here behind the pit. How about a handful of grilled glasses over there? Great job, guys. Thank you. Once again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time out to come and have a dinner with us. Once again, my name's Alika. From all of us to all of you, we want to say aloha!
Oh, Mom, Nikki's on.
Hey, Nikki. We should want you.
And you missed all the... Well, there's still some left, but bread pudding, which was bomb. Really good.
And we're full and tired.
Real full. All right.
Oh, show where we're sitting.
Oh, guys, we can see that little purplish dot right there. That is the Magic Kingdom castle. That's Cinderella's castle.
We had good seats.
We had good seats by the window. When do we visit Magic Kingdom?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll go to Magic Kingdom and actually see it up close and personal. Anyway,
Nice.
And then I don't like banana bread, but I will eat the ice cream off of the banana bread, the dessert that they give at the end. And so they did that, made a big deal about putting the caramel on top, and it melted around the ice cream onto the banana bread or banana pudding. I think it was banana bread. And so we ate that as our dessert. And then, like I said, we watched the fireworks, and then we went home back to the hotel room and crashed. But we knew we had to get up because we were going to be going to the parks the next day. One of the days that we went to Magic Kingdom, we had made reservations for Be Our Guest. I want to say Be Our Guest had only been open maybe a year. I don't even know. It could have been the same year that it opened. I'm not really sure now. But I just wanted to see the inside of it. I had heard mixed reviews about the food, but at the time it was a quick service, and so it was cheaper to do the lunch menu than it was to do the breakfast or the dinner. Now there's a fixed menu and a fixed price, and so I will say I enjoyed the experience. I didn't enjoy it so much that I saw myself going back there like I went to like Ohana's, like we've gone to the 1900 Park Fair. Wish they would open that back up again. We've done Crystal Palace in the past. We've ate at Cape May Cafe for breakfast. Of course, we've eaten at Boma's. So if I had to choose again, it wouldn't necessarily be one that I would choose, but it was a good experience. I love seeing the inside of the restaurant, seeing the different rooms. We were in the music room, and it's actually my favorite. I don't know that I would want to be in the dark room that changes, and the main room, which is like the ballroom. It was just too loud. It was echoey, and there was a lot of people. It was like really busy. So I actually liked the fact that we were in one of the off rooms. So I would say for experience, I would give it 8 out of 10. The food itself, I would give maybe a 6 or 7. And like I said, it was fine doing it that one time. I've never felt the need to go back again. The price was reasonable at that time. The portions were large. As a matter of fact, the portions were so large that I did not eat everything, and I had half a sandwich still left over. And my daughter and I were talking about, even there were so many fries on the plate. We were like, we could have split this meal between the two of us and been just fine. And I don't know if you could have done that there, but I know there are places where you can kind of split the food. You can definitely, in a lot of restaurants, you can order off the kids menu if you want smaller portions and for a less price. Y'all know I'm all about that bargain. But all in all, yeah, it was a good experience. So our next big meal on property, because we don't usually eat on property that often. We usually eat off property because we've always driven. So this time around when I go, it's going to be interesting because I won't have access to a car. So I will be eating a lot of my meals on property. I'm going to take you guys along for that. I'm going to hopefully show you ways that you can save a little bit when you're eating at Disney, because it does get expensive. But right now everything's expensive. But we end up eating at Wilderness Lodge. Now, for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the restaurant, so I'm going to put that here. We had heard about it, and my husband had been saying he wanted to try a bison burger. And I had heard that this particular restaurant had a bison burger. And so I think we had to make reservations for it, but it was during lunchtime. So what we did was we left Magic Kingdom. We took the boat over to Wilderness Lodge. And then walked on the almost like a boardwalk area past the pools, and then it's like off to the left hand side. The restaurant itself is just like an open air building, but it's right on the water, so it's got a beautiful view. The cast members were awesome. They were so nice. We were kind of confused at first as to like where we were supposed to go, but once we figured out where we were supposed to go and sit, they came and got our order. It didn't take very long. He got the bison burger and we got the club sandwiches. Again, could have just shared a meal because the club sandwich was so large that my daughter and I, we could have just split this in half and both would have been fine. They have in-house made waffle fries. They are so good. I would even say slightly better than Chick-fil-A's fries. And we got to sit outside. It was hot that day, but they have fans underneath the building. Like I said, it is an open building. I want to say that maybe in the wintertime they have a way to put down some type of shield. I'm not sure. But there's like little lounge chairs that you can sit at, and you can sit at a table. And like I said, you can order from the bar. And we had no issues at all. It was a nice break from the parks, but it's close enough that we just hopped back on the boat and went back over to the park when we were done. I think we even got off the boat. I think we even went maybe on the monorail and went riding around. I'm not really sure. It's been 6 years. So like I had said earlier, at least I think I did, we were celebrating our anniversary and our daughter was celebrating her birthday. And I want to say it was our 35th wedding anniversary. And she was celebrating her 33rd or 34th birthday. So we all had the buttons that the manager had given us. And for a couple of days, my husband and I wore ours. But my daughter wore her button every day because he had told her, you just never know when you might get pixie dust or you might get a little bit of magic. And boy, did she get magic. She went to the cool station. They gave her a free drink. We were at Epcot one day and she wanted some dessert. When she went up to pay for it, the guy told her she didn't have to pay for it. It was a birthday gift. Let's see. I want to say there was somewhere else that she got. I want to say maybe even her popcorn bucket that she got at Hollywood Studios was free. So the snacks that we had were, we always get a turkey leg. I know some people don't like turkey legs, but we like turkey legs. I want to say this time my husband and I split the turkey leg because there's so much meat on that bone that, yeah, it's almost impossible to eat the whole thing. We stopped at the ice cream shop in the France Pavilion, and I got ice cream from a place that I cannot name, but I will put the words here. For the first time, that was really good. It looked like a little macaroon, and it came, I thought it was so neat, it came in like a piece of newspaper. And I think the next time I'd like to try the brioche one that has the ice cream scoop in the middle, and then they like press it and it looks like it's on a waffle press. That looked like it would be good too. We had popcorn, of course, and of course you can refill the popcorn buckets. I think it's like $2.50. Well, it was at the time. It's probably more now, but it's still worth it if you get the popcorn bucket, and then you can refill it anytime you want. And it just, it doesn't cost you that much to refill, and the popcorn is really good. Salty, but good. But like I said, most of the time we ate off property. Speaking of off property, I have to give a honorable mention to our favorite pizza place in Orlando. It is Giordano's. It is a Chicago-based restaurant. We have been going there now, I want to say, for the very last 4 trips that we went. One year we went to Orlando, my husband and I, just celebrating our anniversary. We didn't go in the parks, but we went to downtown Disney. We made sure we went to Giordano's. We went to all of the outlet malls and just shopped and had a good time. We ate dinner at Ohana's. But yeah, Giordano's, oh my goodness, the pizza is like this thick. It's a deep dish pizza. We've been going in there so long that we recognized the guy who was like our waiter. He was still there. He was there on that last trip. I don't know if he's still there now, but he was on the last trip we went to. My daughter had never eaten there before, so she was excited, and she had such a good time. As a matter of fact, she ate. We came back to the room after that, and homegirl went to sleep. She was just like out. Pizza is so good, and you cannot eat it all. So we had some left over that we heated up at the microwave area at the All-Star Sports Resort, and had that one day for our second meal. Man, it's so good. You guys really have to try it. If there's one locally to you, try it. But if you go to Orlando, there are 2 locations. We go to the one that's near Disney Springs. It's a little more quiet, and I think it's the original one that was put there. But that pizza is so good. Oh my goodness, just thinking about it now, I want some pizza. We have made a point of always trying to go get ice cream, either at Beaches and Cream or in the park, or the last time we went, there was a creamery there on the boardwalk. It is now closed, and I think there is a different ice cream shop there now. The first time we tried to find Beaches and Cream, like how to get to it from the outside, that was a trip. We ended up having to get some help. They ended up walking us through the pool area where you're not supposed to be unless you're a guest. But one night we were coming out of Epcot, and I was like, I want some ice cream, guys. And so we got on the boat from the back part of Epcot at the International Gateway, and as we were leaving on the boat, I think they were doing fireworks. So that was so much fun. So we went, got on the boat, got some ice cream. So good. And then came back and went to the front of the park, got back in our car and went home. So yeah, if you get a chance, either go to Beaches and Cream. You don't have to have a reservation if you go to the window and order ice cream. And like I said, I believe that there is a ice cream place on the boardwalk. And the boardwalk is a great place to go in the evenings because there's live music sometime. There are people performing out there on the lawn. They're doing movies, which you can participate in. You can do those things. So it's nice and quiet in the mornings, but in the evenings, like, it's hopping. There's a lot going on, and it's just fun to see everything. And we just get on the boat and ride around and then check out some of the hotels and resorts areas. And so, yeah, that's just a fun thing you can do one afternoon. They have Surrey bikes. You can ride the Surrey bike. Never done it. I just can't imagine going all the way around the circle and trying to get up that hill. Yeah, that would be interesting. The day that we left, we had breakfast at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And that turned out to be my husband's favorite thing to do. Oh my God, guys, this video is going to be so long, but it's the last one in this series, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Speaking of which, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now is a good time to subscribe because there's going to be a lot of Disney content over the next couple of months, and so you don't want to miss any of it. And if you hit that thumbs up button, it would really help my channel. And so getting back to, we went to Animal Kingdom Lodge the day that we were leaving. We ate at Boma's. Follow the one that likes to eat. Tomatoes, asparagus, creamy white corn meal, spicy stew. I'm just looking at what's there. Spicy stew. I have to come back to that. Turkey, bobito, South African dish of turkey, mushrooms, and eggs. Try that. Marcus and I had eaten at Boma's for dinner, but not for breakfast. But we heard great things about breakfast. It does have some of the main staples, but it has things with a little extra African flavor to it. He enjoyed the breakfast there so much that he said the next time he goes back, that's the one restaurant that he's going to request that we go to. Like, he enjoyed it that much. I think what really made it enjoyable for him was not just the food. The food is excellent, so good. But we had a server that was the best. He kept us our drinks filled up. If we wanted anything extra, he was like right there asking what we needed. My husband enjoyed the banana pudding. It's not the same as the one that you get from Ohana. It's a different type of one, but he thought it was so good. I don't personally like banana pudding, so I didn't eat any of it, but because of that, he brought me something else to try out too. I think we had some of the little zebra domes. They're okay. I don't get overly excited about them. He figured out that it was my daughter. My daughter was celebrating her birthday. He bought her a special cupcake. But the thing that he did that we will never forget is my husband was just like, I really, really like this banana pudding. He said, I would like to make it at home. And he said, hold on a second. I'll be right back. This was our server. When he came back, he had this piece of paper and he says, this is from the chef. This is the banana pudding that is served here. Here's the recipe for it so you could do it at home. But then he said, but I've done this at home and I've added a little extra something to it, and I'm going to write that down on the menu so that you can add it to yours. He says, I'm telling you, you'll love it. It'll make a difference. The fact that he went through all that trouble for us, it was just amazing. And so after we left that, actually before we left, we walked around the lobby area. We went outside on the savannah area and looked around to where, you can see the animals. Banana. No, that's not a banana. I guess that's technically a palm tree. Watch, it won't even rain today. I wonder if it's been raining. I got to ask the kids. It's been raining back home. Doesn't look like any animals are out. Too early in the morning. Look at those spiky things. I guess they keep
way over there.
What is that, a zebra?
Something for legs.
I guess it's too early in the morning. They still resting. But usually you can find wildebeest. Maybe that's what that is, way out there.
Okay,
Will the BC? I wonder if there's any on the other side. Well, they have the little thing. Oh, you mean like a monkey?
They be out of here.
They have some neat, like at the Animal Kingdom, they have some stuff that keeps them away. Oh, fire pit. They actually use it. Zebra. Nobody's out to play. Nope. No animals. You see anything? Nope. They didn't want to come see me, Mark. I said they didn't want to come see me.
I'm alright with it. He was playing at dinner.
Nope. Oh, antelope for dinner. See a spider web. I had enough of those. We needed to walk off that breakfast. My stomach was full. I didn't even eat that much. Are those berries?
Oh, man.
Where the area where you can come that in the evenings, I think, around the fire pit, and they tell stories. I really want to find out if they still have the little tour that you can take of Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it gives you a little background about the hotel. So we left from there and we went to Disney Springs. That was probably a mistake, but my daughter wanted to get a Build-A-Bear. She used to work at a Build-A-Bear, but this is called Build-A-Dino, and she wanted a dinosaur as a souvenir from her trip. And I had made up my mind that I wanted to get a bracelet from the Disney store. And so we said, we're just going to go back briefly. We ended up staying so long. We had such a great time. We got on the boat. We rode around. We just kept saying, we got time before we have to get back on the road, because going back, we hadn't planned on stopping at a hotel. We were just going to drive straight back home.
Okay, but it is safe to go ashore.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen. We had so much fun at Disney Springs that we ended up staying longer than we thought. And I ended up calling one of my girlfriends and telling her, look, I don't think we're going to be able to drive straight through. Do you mind if we stop in and spend the night with you guys? They live about 2 hours outside of Orlando, and probably about like an hour and a half from the border to Georgia, which it was further than what we usually like to do, but it wasn't so far that we couldn't get back home before it got dark if we left in the morning. And so that's what we ended up doing. We ended up going and spending time with them, which was fun because we hadn't seen their new house. They used to live in Virginia, but they were from Florida, so they had moved back to Florida. So we got to see their new house, got to spend some time with them, and then got on the road the next day and headed back home. And that is my final in the series of our trip to Walt Disney World in 2017. I am so excited to be going back again. I cannot wait to share with you guys. I hope that you like this video. I hope that you give it a thumbs up. If you want to know when the next video will come out, all you have to do is hit that little notification bell below. So until I see you guys the next time, have a blessed day.